7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
And then sometimes the superstars just take over. Sometimes they sit back for a couple of games. Say, yeah, I'm just not me. Oh, but you saw him last night, didn't you? That is Ja Morant, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is Ja Morant. He might be the most dynamic player still left in the playoffs. Might be the most dynamic player in the NBA. Ja Morant came up big last night for his team, the Memphis Grizzlies. The 2 seed needed him last night to take a 3-2 lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves in their series in the Western Conference Playoffs, 111-109, and they're headed back to the Land of Lakes. Good morning to you. Merry Wednesday, the day before the opening of the NFL Draft. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, how you living?
What did you?
Oh, it's just Ja wonderful. Ja wonderful. He is, he's pretty good. I'm going to tell you that I think and he's not there. 2-3 years, maybe sooner, he's the face of the NBA.
He's on track. There's a lot of good players in this league. Like right now is a really special time for the NBA.
Yeah.
Because you could say the same exact thing about Luka Doncic.
Mm-hmm.
You could run down what we're seeing across the board, as we've talked about over the last few days. These teams showcasing excellent roster building, chemistry, coaching. It's just been flat out awesome. And Memphis, Minnesota is just a fun basketball series. There's a lot of head scratching moments. Like Minnesota, like this series could be over. Like they could have won this series by now, and yet they are down 3-2 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Some of that's the inexperience. Some of that is just the lack of overall talent outside of Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. But you're watching that game, and it was just straight playoff entertainment.
That's a series I think I told you when this started. You may not be able to name me 3 guys on either team, but that's a series that could be the most fun to watch.
Yes. And just see, you look at that late game execution, and 3 that Anthony Edwards hit. He's been really good. Ja Morant is unbelievable athleticism in the air. The way that Desmond Bane has emerged in this postseason for Memphis, and the pride of San Jose State, Brandon Clark, taking over inside.
Yeah, you hold on to that. I think they may hold on to it as well. All right, we got a ton for you today, and on a Wednesday before the draft, we'll talk draft, we'll talk baseball. Big performance last night in the big leagues. You had 50-cent hot dog night last night at the ballpark. We had all kinds of excitement in the NBA yesterday. Heat got what they needed yesterday. They finish off the Hawks 97-94, and the Suns got what they needed last night, a home win to kind of reset the hierarchy in the West, because I think it was teetering. 112-97 was the number last night in the Valley of the Sun. 22 points by Chris Paul, 31 by Mikal Bridges, which is a playoff high for him last night. Villanova guys were just flat out just balling last night. But a big night for Bridges. They needed someone to step up. It's been basically, we've been having this conversation with Devin Booker hurt, waiting for him to come back. Who is it going to be? Because it can't just be Chris Paul, who's going to step up for the number 1 seed in the West. And it was Bridges last night, and he was fantastic.
He was. And it was finally a chance for him to showcase some of his offensive ability. Really good shooter in the corners, solid three-point shooter. He's really long, so he can do stuff in the lane. You saw defensively, he had 4 blocks. And last night's game, if you get that scoring output from someone, whether it's Bridges, maybe Johnson is able to step up, hit some three-point shots. DeAndre Ayton's been consistent since Devin Booker went down. I think the best case or best chance for Phoenix is Chris Paul sitting about 20 and 10, averaging that, knowing some people are hitting their shots, and just staying alive as long as possible if and when Devin Booker can return.
And right in that 20 and 10 range last night with 22 points, 11 assists last night, and he had 6 rebounds. And that's what he needs to do. I think DeAndre Ayton's a big key for them to go deep. I just think what he can be. Booker's got to come back. I mean, obviously, like let's give you the obvious, but Booker's got to come back. But then if you can get some play out of your big, and get him some just to make a difference. I think that makes that may be the difference for them to get through the West, because when they play Golden State, you asked who is the big in the West, right? Golden State is small. Potentially, to me, it's Ayton.
Yeah, Ayton, Valanciunas, these are guys that could absolutely eat. I think Draymond Green can match up fine with Ayton because he's big, but he's not a banger. He floats around a lot. He's in a ton of different places, and it's simple. We know for the Suns, if they don't have Devin Booker, then it doesn't matter. Like they're not winning in the Western Conference without Devin Booker.
Yeah. All right. Let me give you phone numbers to get into that. 505-246-0610 is how to play radio with us. Do you want to get in? You want to get in on the draft? You want to get in on the hoops last night, wherever you want to go. 505-246. Jeff or JJ at sportsanalytic.com. On the Twitter, follow JJ. It's a great follow. It's _JJ Buck. You can tweet at him. On the Facebook, the OD in the AM. That's where you can watch the show. Adrian's producing for you on ProView Networks. We're also on Comcast Channel 26. You can text the show. That is at 505-246-0610. Stephanie's in today for A. Marie, who's out on her wedding tour. What do we call this? Is it more a wedding tour or a draft? Like, did she go to Vegas for the draft or to get married?
I think she's there for the draft, and it just so happens
She's going to get married?
Yeah.
Like, why
I
not?
don't
Let's
know.
do it.
I'm not sure what I think she's more excited about for this Vegas
I
trip.
know, exactly.
Getting married or going to the NFL draft. Did you get a feel for it?
I couldn't either. It just seemed, yeah.
God bless her.
I
Don't get me
know.
wrong.
It's going to be awesome all around.
Yeah, yeah. What you more excited for?
Two birds, one stone type of deal. It definitely was the NFL draft first, and then
But then, all right,
marriage
this guy's
stuff came
coming.
around.
I guess I'll get married.
we'll do it.
Let me
hope
see if I can get him a pass, too.
I hope their appointment time at wherever they're getting married is flexible, just in case something happens.
Well,
and they
they're-
have to stay at the draft.
They're
long.
going on Saturday, which is the third day of the draft,
Oh,
which is
okay.
the day it's like you got round 1 on Thursday. Is it round 2 and 3 on Friday, or just round 2?
The 2 and 3.
2 and 3 on Thursday, and then the rounds 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, okay.
On, so she's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6. I guess I can get married. All right, dude. You want to get married?
I'll take a time
yeah,
out.
All right, fine.
We got a 30-minute window.
And
Let's
it's the
go.
total other dichotomy, right? Usually it's the dude who's like, well, I mean, I don't know. It's the draft. We're getting married on
Right?
draft weekend. Now their anniversary will always be draft weekend, which feels like it'll be the perfect thing for them. All right, so you can get in on any of that stuff. We got draft stuff going on. I want to get in on Brady's contract. So biggest moment last night, was it Ja's dunk or Ja's bucket at the buzzer to win it? Because the dunk is pretty insane.
The dunk got the people going. The layup was the icing on the cake because it was winner, chicken dinner.
So I'm watching this game via Score. I took Addie and a friend of hers to the El Rey Theater last night. That's what we were. Alec Benjamin performed last night. Alec Benjamin's very, very big with the young female crowd. So, but it was fun. It was good. And Sarah Kay's opened up. Good show last night. Just a late night, right? Just a late night. Didn't just watch the hoops via the scores and via Ryan updates. You tell me the Villanova guys were killing it. But it was nice. But I'm watching the scores and I'm like, okay. I didn't get a feel for the game until I went back and watched it later. It felt to me like the Timberwolves were going to win this game. When I left the house, I thought the Timberwolves were going to win that game.
They're just not there yet. Like it's one thing. You look at Minnesota, some of the mistakes they made down the stretch, other games missing free throws, not closing it out, and it's one of those classic teams, Jeff. You talk about it a lot. They haven't done it yet, and they have to figure it out.
Well,
And that's where they're at.
I do believe this, and I believe it just because I've watched it so many times over the years, and you'll always tell me there's an exception, and you'll be right. But the rule, more than the exception, is it takes a minute to learn how to win. And you can be really talented and really good and really young and really brash and really athletic and really I think Minnesota's on their way. I think they're Memphis last year in some respects, right? But there's something to learning how to win. There's something about when you talk about knocking off a champion that's learned how to win that is there, how hard it is to beat a champion. And it's the other side of that coin is how hard it is your first time through it to figure out why the playoffs are different. And we can sit here and we have this conversation probably going into playoffs in every sport, right? Every year. Well, it's just another game, right? They played 82 of them. They played 16 football games. Or they played 162 baseball games. It's just another game, but it's not. You know, how many times have we talked about how different the playoffs in hockey are? Well, they're kind of the same way in basketball. They're more physical. They're more intense. And you got to want it down the end, man. You got to have that guy. You've got to have that in you to want it down the end with all the pressure on you. And, I mean, do you agree with me that Minnesota is kind of Memphis a year ago?
There's definitely parallels just with the youth, the talent. Because you look at this series, and it could actually be over in favor of Minnesota.
Sure it can.
Because everything that you just said, I think that they're unable to accomplish down the stretch. Double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, those are going to go away at times, but it's happened multiple times to them in this series. And it was just two back-to-back plays. Edwards steps up, hits the huge game-tying three, and then you get it in the hands of John Morant, who goes down the lane, goes to work, hits the layup, and those were moments. Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. You hope these guys internalize it, and then when they run it back, because Anthony Edwards has proven himself to be a legitimate top-tier running mate with Karl-Anthony Towns, I think we are seeing a Karl-Anthony Towns that people have been waiting for years to see.
Yeah. Now,
kind of taking over games and being able to be the core of that franchise and to allow them to get to the postseason.
and a good core. And finally a guy that feels like, and look, we may find out different, but feels like a guy who wants to be there. Right? It's a place that everybody wants to get the hell out of. And they're not done yet, by the way. They're going home for Game 6. They just lost by 2. I mean, you want to go through that series and look at the scores? To JJ's point, this could be over the other way. It's not, and it's leaning towards Memphis. But they're pointed now back north to Minneapolis. And going back to the Target Center for Game 6. And if you think the Timberwolves win Game 6, look, anything can happen in Game 7, and we could be sitting here on Monday saying, well, Jeff, what about that experience? Well, they got it. I mean, it's not like they're playing a veteran, incredibly experienced team. They're playing a 2 seed. But the team on the other side is growing up in front of you. They went through this last year. But it's not like they're playing a team that's already done it and gone through it. They're kind of one rung ahead of them on the ladder, right? One step ahead of them on the staircase. But it's not like they're playing an incredibly experienced team, so it can be done. And this, again, I'm going to reiterate, of all the series, that might be the most fun to watch in this round. 505-246-0610. Sebastian Noel's going to be with us at 9:30 this morning. We'll talk about high school stuff and get him in on the Gladiators as well. We got NFL to do. Todd Helton and Clint Hurdle were in town yesterday. Clint Hurdle's going to be with us tomorrow, the former Rockies manager, big league player. But you were out there yesterday, so I'm kind of interested in what they had to say as well. We'll get into that when we come back. Stephanie's producing for us on the radio side. It's Adrian on TV. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta, next to J.J. Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1, cover it with green stuff.
Of 7 amazing burritos, 2 breakfast sandwiches, and great coffee are waiting for you. Blake's Lotta Burger, a lot of great breakfast served until 11 a.m.
Police and emergency crew on scene.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dreamstyle Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable.
Loading me?
Congrats, Martinez.
That RV's flatlining!
Well, that sounds like the job for the new head of nursing.
So you're just promoting everyone now?
Yeah, kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
Whoa, Greg's up.
He's never up this early.
Hey, guys. Okay, so this is called a Bell Breakfast Box from Taco Bell. Oh, thanks. I can read.
And that's a coffee. Helps you open your eyes.
And that's a breakfast burrito. You can start from either end.
You guys always this condescending in the morning?
Pretty much.
Wake up with the new $5 Bell Breakfast Box, filled with a grande toasted breakfast burrito, hash brown, 2 Cinnabon Delights, and a coffee. At limited participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation, which vary. Tax extra. Drinks excludes freezes.
The Duke City's home for sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610.
The Sports Animal.
Yes, the
Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services.
Brian sent me this last night. He said, just saw this on Twitter. I hadn't put it in this perspective. Tiger Woods broke both of his legs, nearly had one amputated, and still came back before Ben Simmons did. Never mind, I already had back fusion and the whole thing. It's going to be a long off season for young Ben, isn't it?
Again.
Because last off season he opted to not play for the Australian team in the Olympics. And really took it there because he was coming off a poor performance in the playoffs and didn't play for his country, and there was a lot of thought, we'll go there, get better. I don't know Ben Simmons. And I'm going to tell you, it's okay if a guy just doesn't have a passion for basketball. I just said liking it for no reason. But if you don't have a passion for it, even though you're good at it, that's cool, man. But don't take their $40 million a year to sit on the bench and pretend you do. I'm down with it if hey, I don't dig it that much, man. I know I'm really good at it, but I'd rather paint. I'd rather be a poet. I'd rather be a whatever. Do your thing. And I don't know that that's the case. I don't know that he doesn't have a passion for it. I mean, I know what I read. I know what I see. But I don't know Ben Simmons. And there could be this other part that just look, there's a real I say possibility, and it could even be a probability. Dude's really hurt. Well, I don't know, man. I saw him. He looked pretty good in those warm-ups and that shoot-around. He was moving really easy, and he didn't look like he had a lot of pain. Well, look, I think you all know. If he's ever done anything. It's one thing to go shoot or whatever, and it's another thing to go compete and get hit and have to start and stop and be athletic. And there's part of me that feels filthy with the germ spreading that would be, what if dude's really, really, really hurt? And is it outlandish to believe, like, his back's jacked, man. He can't go.
Yes, which is why...
It is outlandish to believe that.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was
okay.
Phil's
Yeah,
version.
okay.
I apologize.
No, I thought that's what you were saying just by the look on your face. I just want to make sure I understood it. It could be that way.
Yeah. Also part of this story, and we addressed it last week, is how did it get out there? Like, how did Ben Simmons let it get out there that he was planning his return? Because he was a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's something that if he wasn't a part of it, if they didn't get it from someone within the organization, that's a story that you immediately squash, because it just allowed Ben Simmons to look that much worse. Is now, you're down 0-3, you're gonna walk away from your team, and we can talk all day about what the real impact of the return could have been if Ben Simmons was only able to play 20 minutes, but that's not the point in this. It's the fact that he didn't step on the floor at all last season, and from Philadelphia, it went from he has checked out mentally, he doesn't want to be there anymore, that's not an environment he wants to be in, to, now he has a back injury once he showed up from Brooklyn and he didn't play basketball that entire time. And I do believe it was a big miss for Ben Simmons to not play for Team Australia. But I think what you're saying is there's a lot going on with Ben Simmons to where that fire is not burning right now. And there's no other way to read it right now for Ben Simmons.
I think, especially because he doesn't say anything, right? Especially because you get nothing from him. So I look at it differently. Down 0-3, JJ, he had nothing to lose. It's not like you were expecting him to go out there and score 40 and 20 and put the team on his back and make the difference. Down 0-3, the blame had already been set. That die was cast. The blame was already on Kyrie and KD and everybody else if they lose that series. All he had was to gain. If they they win a game, look what Ben Simmons can do. If they lose and he plays, how does he lose in that? He doesn't. So I'm struggling with this whole, now they were down 0-3, and so he opted out. Well, I guess I don't even understand it. Is it just a loser's mentality is what you're telling me? Because if it was a 2-1 series, there's way more now it's a series. Now you're in a game. Now it's that home game to get even and hold serve and force this thing back to Boston, and the pressure goes the other way. If it's a 2-1 series, I don't want to say there's more pressure to win, because obviously when your back's against the wall at 0-3, you have to win. But nobody's coming back from 0-3. Nobody expected them to come back from 0-3. I thought that once they got to 0-3, there's no pressure on them. Go out and play. Like, do you see where I'm coming from on this?
I do, and that's why all we can do is assume in this situation, because, we got the track record since he was eliminated from the playoffs with the 76ers. He doesn't say a lot. The fact that reports came out and that the Nets were disappointed to hear that he was sore and not available to play in Game 4. I think what you're hitting on, and it's one where I don't want to sit here and just absolutely destroy Ben Simmons, because he could be lost in his head.
That's right.
Like you said, like that could be something that has actually happened. It doesn't mean he's not a competitor. It doesn't mean he's soft. Like, he could just be lost and trying to figure out, all right, what do I need to do? What can I do? How do I do this? And he's just had actually people destroying him for a year and a half. But when it is about the game of basketball, as you said, when you have that contract handed to you, that's going to happen. And I don't know how Ben Simmons gets himself out of this, other than we hope the summer it's just straight rehab for Ben Simmons, and he's on the floor standing next to Kevin Durant playing
I
basketball.
mean, the answer is he's in a great situation next year to succeed, and they start fresh. And dare I say, they may be the favorite again next year.
Yeah.
Right?
As messy as it is, they have all the pieces to be really good.
Now, the whole thing with the lambskin jacket and what he's wearing sitting on the bench doesn't help his whole thing. Look, I don't know. It could be either way. JJ, it could be he's soft and he's not competitive and he doesn't want to play. It could be. Or, but we have no idea. And so everybody speculates because of body language they know. All I know is this is one of the most scrutinized DNPs, did not plays, in the history of the game. And because it was a season of DNP. Because he was the headliner in a blockbuster trade. Is that going too far? I don't think it is, right? He was the headliner in a blockbuster NBA trade, correct?
Correct.
Between two franchises who felt that they had a chance this year to make a run at the NBA championship. They had two malcontented players who were unhappy in the situation in which they found themselves, in James Harden in Brooklyn and Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. And so they found a way to, we all sat around and went, wow, they're kind of getting value for value. Who won the trade? Who won the trade? Who won the trade? They got James Harden. Oh, they won the trade. No, they got Ben Simmons and they got Seth Curry. Right. So when we're sitting having conversations about who won the trade, it feels like they both did pretty well. And you got an opportunity. And then one dude doesn't play at all. And he's still in play, and it gets out. And I agree with you. From where did it come? Who said Ben Simmons was going to play? Because it's one of the weirdest things to me. I still don't know. It was like, was it alluded to in a Nets press conference that Ben Simmons was going to play? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's the reports came out there. You got your Woj bombs, but there wasn't a lot of pushback on it. And then after the fact, Steve Nash, well, we never expected him to return. Well, y'all didn't do a lot to just absolutely squash that story.
No, they did nothing to.
Looked that much worse on Ben Simmons when he didn't return.
Yeah. I don't know Ben Simmons at all. I don't know if he's a good guy, if he's not a good guy. I don't know if he wants to play, if he doesn't want to play. I don't know if he's just, and you're, like you said, lost in his head. I mean, dealing with mental stuff, mental illness stuff, mental issues. I mean, I don't want to assume any of this. But when you've got somebody who's high profile and made $30-something million this year and didn't play a second, Steph, there's a bunch of guys who made like between $30 and $40 million and didn't play 1 second this year. But they got their money. I think it's fair to say, hey, man, what's going on? Sit down with somebody. But is that a good idea? Like, if you're his handlers, are you saying sit down and do an interview with, I don't know, who would be today's interviewer?
There's Malik Andrews, someone like that on ESPN would work. And I don't even know if I trust the people around Ben Simmons right now.
Well,
they sure don't seem to be helping him too much.
I think that's right. Does he have the right people around him? Because obviously that young man needs help. What's he, 23 years old? Getting beat up from every angle. Getting beat up from the tweeter to the in-person. To from his own franchise. Wow, yeah, but Chuff, he made 30-something million dollars. That's cool, man. Money can't buy you love, can it? I mean, it's good to have money. Y'all want to have some. We all do. But that's the situation. Well, Jeffy put himself in it. I don't know, man. I think that might be right, but, I mean, can it be that he's really hurt? Back injuries suck, you guys. I don't know how many of you have back injuries. Back problems. Watch my mom barely able to walk. Well, yeah, she's 85. No, I get it. But when your back hurts, man. Everything hurts. And it prevents you from doing everything else better. Now, well, you look great on the floor in warm-ups. Okay. I guess I'm just trying to look at the other side of this. Because the narrative has been completely one-sided. Don't you agree?
Yes, it has.
Yeah. And I get it. It's easy to pile on, and I get the track record. But I'm listening. 505-246-0610. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, New Mexico's strong since 1958, is your home loan leader. Built in the heart of Albuquerque, it's their goal to help New Mexicans achieve the dream of home ownership with the right loans, local expertise, and a relationship built on trust. The Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team is 100% local, so your loan stays 100% local. You'll never send a payment out of state. Have a question? When you reach out to talk to someone about your new home, you'll talk to someone right here in Albuquerque. Meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team and get started today at kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. See your representative for complete details.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dreamstyle Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together.
Hockey playoffs almost here too. Just reading a little email I just got. From the worldwide leader, hockey playoffs going to be on. Well, hockey's been on ESPN.
People care now.
Yes. NBC Sports Net did a nice. By the way, are they even around anymore? I think they shut down.
No, that station is gone.
Yeah, so that network went away. I thought they did a nice job. I just don't know that people were watching. I don't know that they were watching regular season games unless they were looking for their team. And I don't know. I would ask you, is a viewer, a connoisseur of sports, as you this season, as you flipped around and watched for sport, did you watch any more hockey because it was on ESPN than maybe that you did in years previous when it was on NBC Sports Net?
Put it on the poll.
I'm going to guess you watched a few more. Kings in Edmonton will be in the first round. That playoff is set, and Minnesota and St. Louis is set. As of now, it's Colorado and Dallas and Calgary and Nashville. There's 15 to 16 spots are secure. The only way Vegas can make the playoffs is if Dallas loses both of its remaining games in regulation and Vegas wins both of its games. But if Dallas can clinch with a overtime loss or a win, they can get a point or three. In the East right now, it looks like Florida and Washington, Toronto, Tampa, Carolina, Boston, and the Rangers and Pittsburgh's nice, really nice. So it feels weird, doesn't it? Normally the Stanley Cup playoff has been about a week and a half ahead of the NBA playoffs, right? They always started a week and a half before the final was played. The Stanley Cup champion was crowned about a week and a half before the NBA. Calendar's a little off. I'm not even sure who altered. Not that it matters, but that's where we are with that. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm interested where you are, Ben Simmons. Like, are you in just soft bum, prima donna, lazy, quitter, or are you like, I don't know, do you just want to know what's going on? And would it help the young man? And JJ, it could kill him. Like, honestly, if he puts himself in that chair and answers all the questions and sits with, to your point, whoever it is, Malika Andrews or I mean Reggie Miller, I don't care who it is. But if he's not up for it, if he's not good at it, it can make things worse, right?
Yes, it can. It could bury you if he's not ready for it. It could be as simple as the dude had a herniated disc in his back, and instead of anyone wanting to say he's done for the season after a big trade like that, they left that door open. There was hope. He was working out. Back doesn't feel good. Not playing, and then it's just pile-on season for Ben Simmons.
Yeah. You know, he could say, look, I was ready to go, and then I woke up on game day morning, and it hurt, man. And was it worth going? I don't even know what the right answer is. So, I mean, if you heard, is it worth playing one game in a 3-0 series and setting me back all summer? I think the critics are going to pile on him no matter what he says. So I'm just curious where you all are on that. 505-246-0610. All right, Isotopes lose last night, 9-7. Open up a series at home with the Sacramento River Cats. 50-cent hot dogs. Have you seen any numbers on the dogs?
I haven't.
What's Forrest
How
doing?
many hot dogs were eaten?
Forrest, don't you understand?
That's the information we need to know.
So Forrest is really good. Actually, he's really good. But he's new. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not very good, but I'm not new. I think on 50-cent hot dog night, nobody cares about the scores and the hits run. How many damn dogs were consumed? I guess they had 40-something hundred people. If you look at 3.5 dogs per, it's like 16,000-ish.
That's the number.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's how I would.
That's why Steph came in this morning.
I know. No,
she's here because she wants to know how many hot dogs were eaten.
I think I saw a show where it said that, like, if you eat a hot dog, it takes like a half an hour off of your life or something like that.
Is that right?
Right. I remember that story.
People are just taking days off their life last night.
For 50 cents. They're like,
what kind of crap is
"Whoa."
that? It takes how can you? It takes a half hour off your life. You eat that dog, man. You're gonna live 1/2 hour or less. And people are like, good, man. When I'm 92, I need a less half hour to sit around and drool on myself.
Yes, I remember this.
You do?
Yes. It was a study by the University of Michigan.
Is that right?
And it suggested that you may lose 36 minutes of healthy life after
healthy
eating
life's very
one
different.
hot dog.
All right. Healthy life's different. I mean, if you're just going to lop a couple, half hour off at the end, like, whatever, man. While I'm sitting there.
Well, whatever. How many 50-cent hot dog nights you been to?
So
that's a lot of hours.
You know where I am on 50-cent hot dogs, man.
I know where you are.
I'm scared.
I know a lot of people listening.
No, I know. I'm scared to death.
Enjoyed those dogs last
That's
night.
right. That's right. I have had a few. Don't get me wrong. It's not, and they were good. And you doctor them up. How do you do your dog? There's no wrong way. Look, I'm not Mr. Wrong Answer. Don't put ketchup on your dog. How do you do your dog?
If I have to eat a hot dog,
yeah,
I doubt drench it in ketchup.
So you're ketchup, and there's people out there. You can't do ketchup.
But I don't like hot dogs. Yeah. I'm just trying to cover the flavor of a hot dog.
No, that's fair.
Okay, so I'm the same with him. Like, I have to have a certain type of hot dog
Yeah.
if I'm going to have a hot
No,
dog.
I want a good hot dog. That's my point on the 50-cent dogs.
Yeah. So, but I like to do mustard and ketchup, but then I go and I do half with relish and half without, because I do like relish, but not.
You and I are very similar. So I do mustard and ketchup and relish. Now, if there's kraut, I will put kraut on it.
Yeah, it just depends on what they have. Sometimes I'll throw some jalapeno. Yeah, I just will do whatever.
Right. Now, but if I do kraut, I won't do ketchup. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but that's usually that'll be on a brat.
See, I would prefer brat.
On a sausage, right? But on your hot dog, and even if it's like one of those Hebrew National all beef hot dogs, which are really good, by the way.
Yeah.
A ballpark dog, Dodger dog. I go to Dodger Stadium, and Farmer John. If I go to Stang's Wieners in Sausalito and get the greener wiener, dude, Stang's is awesome. How about this?
I'm in for just the Stang's Wieners.
Check out Stang's Wieners. It's the greener wiener. I'll bring you. It's my boy, John Stanger's place in Sausalito at the mall right there. The producer for the New Mexico Bowl last year, the guy from ESPN's producer, he lives up it was in Mill Valley. It was in Marin County. I think it was in Mill Valley, maybe Novato. But anyway, I was talking to him about the game and the format and visit Albuquerque Scenics and all this stuff. And I'm like, where are you from? Where are you based? He told me, and I'm like, hey, one of my best buddies has a spot right there in the mall. What's that mall in Sausalito? He told me, yeah. You ever been by Stang's? He's like, oh, that place is awesome. I'm like, yeah, the greener wiener. I'm going to bring in the shirt, just so you know. Here you go, Stang. Buddy John Stanger, it's the best, the greener wiener. But yeah, I'm with you. So mustard, ketchup, and relish. But there's people who will scream at you, you can't put ketchup on a hot dog. Don't tell me what I can do. I can do whatever the hell I want. I can put sugar on it if I want. Like, what do you care if I put ketchup on a dog? You know those people, though?
Yes.
They scream on the radio all the time. You can't do. Don't tell me what I can do.
I would love it if they offered like a Lobo dog.
Yeah.
With some chili cheese.
Ooh. All right. So chili cheese. Chili cheese dog's a whole nother story.
What kind of chili? Like chili?
Like
green chili?
No chili, beans, no beans. Not
okay.
red or green, but beans, no beans chili. Like chili, Texas chili.
Like a chili dog.
Yeah,
like a chili dog. Yeah. No, that's really good. Now it's messy.
Yeah.
It's a tough ballpark eat.
But you eat nachos. That's
fair enough. No, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. So
you might know some people we could talk to about that.
About the chili dog? Yeah. Yeah, promise. All right, 505-246. How do you eat your dog?
Josh,
right.
Forrest, someone.
How many dogs?
Rob.
Is there somebody? Somebody? Hello? All right, what's tonight's promotion? I know they're chock full of promotions. In Albuquerque. Where's it?
Dylan, where you at?
It's early, man. I mean, he worked the game late last night. He was out there. He was ready for the chili race. Ooh, what? I can't even do it right now. It's the opening drive. How do you eat your hot dog? Never mind, you're eating your cereal. It's on opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Channel.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business
to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to
boring draft. And I love the NFL. I used to get hyped up for the draft, just to see who's coming out. But there's no one coming out right now that's like exciting, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Is that because the quarterback class is so low? I mean, that totally correlates with look. Last year you had 5 quarterbacks that could go in the first round, and everybody was so. And now you're like, I don't know if we even really have a guy who should be in the first round. We will have first rounders. I never touch that damn
but
thing.
there's no one that just is
Pops.
wow.
I know.
Right now, there's what's his name, Kenny Pickett or whatever. But this, to me, no one just stands out head and shoulders above the rest. So I just hope that there's a lot of trades, some excitement to build on it, because it's got the makings of a very boring draft. And what I heard also, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but Golden State, after this season, might be looking to trade Steph Curry.
I did not hear that.
Yep, because of that Poole kid. They like him a lot. But he's not a point. Isn't he a shooting guard?
Yeah. Why would you trade Steph Curry? Do you buy that?
Well, he's older. Older. They want to build around him and Clay. Clay is what, like 5 years younger?
It's a face
or 4 years younger than Curry?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the face of your franchise.
What
if they win this year?
Right. That'd be something.
If they win if they win this year, you buy that they're going to trade him?
Do I think they'll trade Curry?
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, that's when you think Golden State Warriors, you think Steph Curry. Why would you do that? But
Curry
again,
for Westbrook.
Again,
there you
why
go.
wouldn't you?
Who said that?
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I don't know why you would.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would.
But you guys have yourselves a good day, okay? Remember, condiments on the bottom.
What condiments?
Beans on the top.
What condiments?
Huh?
What condiments?
Oh, got to be mustard and sweet pickle relish.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And then you put the beans on the top. All right.
And then the beans on the top.
Got it. Later.
All right. Later.
Casa de Tony sounds like a good dog. Over
Did he get that information from LeBron James?
Well, right.
Like, that's not a story. Steph Curry's 34, Klay Thompson's 32.
Yeah. I build around. If you win a championship or get to the finals this year, why are you breaking that up?
You're not.
I think that's no.
Fake news.
I think that's
fake
flat out
news.
No. Fake news, no. Plus, a guy who wants to be there, who has ingratiated himself with that city. Let me just explain something to you, by the way. The Golden State Warriors were with the Sacramento Kings and the Orlando Magic as the most irrelevant franchises in the NBA before Steph Curry emerged. I don't think that's far-fetched. They were, and at that point, they might have even been below Sacramento, because Sacramento more recently had some sort of a run. They had years of nothing until Steph Curry emerged. Now, did it coincide with the emergence of Klay Thompson and with Draymond Green? Yes, it did. But Steph came out of Davidson, the 7th or 8th overall pick. All right, he struggled. He had the ankle injuries, and you brought it up the other day. Was it him or Monte Ellis? Mm-hmm. It's so crazy to think about that now. All right, then this guy becomes the face of the franchise. He's the greatest shooter I have ever seen, I would argue, in the history of the NBA. No. There's just no way. And at 34, now that you're putting it back together and going to make a run, they're going to trade him for what? For what? No. I mean, you're right. What is he getting his info from, LeBron? No way. 505-246-0610. Sebastian Noel at 9:30 this morning. Move that around a little bit from your normal 8:30. I know. You set your clock to Wednesdays at 8:30. Sebastian had some stuff to do, man. Dude's got life like the rest of you. I eat your hot dog. Sweet relish. What do you say? Sweet pickled relish and mustard on the bottom. Beans on the top. All right, I'm living. Take another 36 minutes off your life. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear.
thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years.
Albuquerque, the sports animal. Now voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
Oh, yeah, buddy, on a Tuesday, the day before the draft. Look, Tony says he's not excited about this draft. I think it correlates with quarterbacks because it's big names. Who are the big names? Look, I think there's going to be really good players, long-time receivers come out of this draft. I think you've got some decent defensive players, and who knows what the quarterback class will be. Last year was special. But don't you think that's why there was such a buzz last year? It was all about quarterbacks. It's a quarterback-driven league. And last year you had 5 dudes potentially in the first round, and everybody was buzzing over all of them. This year you got dudes that you're not even sure should be in the first round, although you know some will.
Yes. The drafts that we've seen multiple quarterbacks go, there seems to be a lot more buzz, and miss me with that. And it's not Tony. Tony said that because he's getting it from the talking heads. Like, oh, I don't know about this draft. Teams want to trade down. Teams want to trade back. What good does that do to keep trading for picks next year? That's what these teams did. 6 teams right now have multiple first-round picks. And, like, no one wants to use them. Like, what's the point of trading for these first-round picks? Oh, we're going to trade into next year's draft. We like next year's draft. Okay, the quarterbacks aren't there. You still have to build a football team. And these are foundational pieces. We know if you hit on the quarterback, that's different. That's going to change everything. Well, it ain't there right now. So go get some pass rushers. Go get some blockers. Get dudes to cover the receivers because that's where the game is going, the wide receiver bubble, the quarterback position. So get the pass rushers, get the blockers. There are foundational pieces in this draft. I don't get
I agree.
and I get it because it's not sexy.
No,
There's nothing sexy about an offensive tackle.
Yeah, somebody thinks offensive tackles are sexy. If you like big, hulking men, then they're sexy.
So everyone's like, oh, we're
Look at
gonna
Mark
trade down.
Mark
we don't want to
Schlereth
draft
is a
here.
sexy man, isn't he?
So you're sitting there.
Oh, you're avoiding that like the plague. I get it.
Like the Giants have 5 and 7. Like, oh, I want to trade back, get more picks in next year. At some point in time, you got to build a football team. Like, stop telling me about
Especially
picks
when
for,
you're a bad football
Yeah, stop
team.
telling me about picks for next year. Everyone's so excited. Oh, we'll get another first-round pick next year. Why? So you can trade it again and not use it and trade it for more picks a year after that?
Good take. No, you're right. You're right. Hello, Dan. How are you, sir? You want me to hit the button again? Hello, Dan.
Morning. Yeah, kick the core out.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's up? Hello, Dan.
Jeff.
Dan.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check.
Yeah,
Siblings.
barely.
Siblings. Check 1, 2.
Mike check. Mike check.
All right, go.
Demetrius Jamal John Morant. You guys, I don't know if you already talked about that.
Yeah, he's
I
a
just
bad
jumped
man.
on, but
Yeah.
wow, man, what an incredible game last
Is that
night.
his name? Demetrius
young man is
Japal? What's his name? Demetrius what? What's his full name?
No, Demetrius
Demetrius?
with a T.
Where did he get Ja from? I'm just curious.
From Jamal.
Oh.
His name is Jamal.
Got it. His middle name is?
Sure, that is. Yes.
Yeah, Demetrius Jamal Morant.
That's bad. All right.
But man, what? I just wanted to chime in on that. I think that's. I've seen a lot of dunks in my day, man. I'm an old guy, but to me, that's top 3 dunks ever that I've seen.
Yeah.
Of course, I haven't seen them all, but that was just incredible. I came out of my seat when I saw that. You know what I mean?
Yep,
and
so
then
did
for
we.
him to win the game the way he did, that was just so satisfying. I'm not even a Grizzlies fan, but I
Nobody
stayed
is.
up to watch a game, and I'm really glad I did, man. That young man is something else. A really special game, witnessing some really cool history there.
That's it. Well,
So I'm having a lot of fun with the playoffs.
it was good. It was jaw dropping. See what they did there?
Very
so
good,
would
Jeff,
you
very
say,
good.
and I said this earlier, I think he is on his way to being the face of the NBA.
Oh man, definitely. He's everything about him. The way he carries himself, the way he plays, he slithers around like the Mamba a little bit.
Yeah,
but man, he's something else. I really enjoyed that, man. And I'm having a great time with the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Guys, have a great day. Thanks
All right,
for taking
Dan.
my call.
See ya. So let me give you this, because I'm with you on Luka also. So the upcoming face of the NBA, like if I say, all right, here in LeBron is on his way towards the back end, and if I said your 5 guys, you know, your all NBA face team, in 5 years from now, Jason Tatum. In no particular order, John Morant, Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, and Trae Young. Would I be out of my mind?
You're out of your mind that you did not say Giannis.
I just as I said that, I'm thinking I didn't say Giannis Antetokounmpo, because he's young. Yeah, so Giannis has to be on that list. Who
and
you
he's
wanna
relatable.
No, you're right. Yeah, 100%. So who you want to take off your all 5? Your 5. Giannis, Trae Young, maybe Embiid.
Trae Young.
Okay. All right. So Embiid, Giannis, Luka, John Morant, Jason Tatum.
Like Trae Young's got to be wondering what's next for him.
No.
Because the Heat, by the way, are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Not talking about the Miami Heat.
Yeah, but there's somebody there that you say is the face of the NBA. Never mind how much you.
Okay, I'm not. But Trae Young just had more turnovers than made field goals in the postseason.
Yes.
That's not the face.
No,
of the
he
game.
did. He did. But I'm saying in 4 or 5 years from now, and if I think you believe as much as I do, he's a star on his way to being a superstar in this league. You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I think he's a star player. I don't think he's ever going to be a superstar.
I kind of do. Now, do you need to win a championship to be a superstar?
I think
Difference between a star and a superstar.
I don't know if I trust Trae Young to consistently take over games in the postseason.
Okay. So he's what you're saying is he's no Steph Curry.
He is not Steph Curry.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Which is not a bad
No,
thing. That's
there's
like the
one
best-
Steph Curry.
That's
There's one Steph Curry.
The pinnacle of guard play right now.
Yeah. The face of the league right now, it's LeBron James, Steph Curry, right? Who else would you say? Would you put anybody else? And the other guy left out was Devin Booker.
I don't think he can do that.
Because of his personality, because of his market. Why? I mean, if you can do it in Memphis, you can do it in Phoenix.
Because I don't think John Morant's going to be the face of the league.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Why? Because of the market?
I think that we've seen John Morant is Kyrie Irving is Derrick Rose.
I think he's more relatable than both of those guys. I think he's more sustainable than Derrick Rose, and I think he's just more likable, relatable, and I think ultimately is going to be better than Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving's terrific. Like I don't take anything away from Kyrie Irving, the player. Tell me again what the best ability is.
Availability.
Yeah. So when you're not available, how great are you? He's played limited games. I think that's going to go down on his legacy. I don't think he cares, by the way. I like that's one guy who I flat out don't think he cares what you think about him. I think most guys care. I know Kevin Durant does. I know LeBron James does. I know what the hell was that? That was weird. I know most guys care. I don't you firmly believe Kyrie Irving, while he hears everything, he firmly doesn't believe what you think of him.
Yes.
Durant does.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron sure does. I think Ja does too. But yeah, all right. So that's where I'll put it. I'm going to put Luka and what did I say? Luka, Ja, Embiid, Giannis, and who? And
Tatum.
And Tatum.
Okay.
Is Tatum a face of this league, or is he just really, really good?
He's that caliber of player.
He's so good, man. And the Lakers took Lonzo Ball instead of him. What about LaMelo? Does he have a chance to be one of those guys?
Face of the league, no. Strong personality, yeah, because all of a sudden, there's 2 LaMelo Ball commercials on my TV.
No, I know. And LeVar's in one of them.
Hulu and cell phones.
Yeah, it was AT&T. Yeah. Look, you can have an all-second team, and you can go with Trae Young and LaMelo and Devin Booker. And, I mean, there's so many good young players. There's so many good young players. De'Aaron Fox is really good. There's so many, who knows what Jordan Poole's going to become. Completely forgot Nikola Jokic. How old is Nikola Jokic?
Jokic, I want to say
Karl Anthony Towns.
20?
Right? I mean, what's Karl Anthony Towns going to be? You got
Jokic is 27 years old.
All right. Yeah, so many of them. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. How do you like your hot dog? What do you do with it? What do you do? How do you doctor it up? Steph does like I do, ketchup, mustard, ketchup, and relish. But you only do relish on half. Explain the half to me. I'm not telling you it's wrong. I just don't think I understand it.
Okay, so I do love pickles, but the whole relish thing kind of freaks me out.
Why?
I don't know.
Just
it's
the
like
texture?
Jellied pickles.
It is kind of jelly pickles. Yeah.
So in my mind,
I don't want to
it
even
plays
think of it
with
that way.
me, and so I can only do half because I can only get through half of it, and then start to realize what I'm eating, and then I freak out.
So you eat the relish half first, and then
Yes. I don't know. Sometimes I'll go from side to side. I don't pick a side.
Really?
Yeah. I'll eat.
Have you ever
both
done
sides.
that? Have you ever started on one side of the dog and then gone to the other side? I'm not sure I've ever done that.
Yeah,
That's kind of
I've done.
cool little game.
Yeah. But I'm also a weird person. When I eat, I have to have a bite of everything at the same time. Like.
So you don't
I'll
have,
eat
you don't
one
have to
thing,
separate
go,
everything.
No.
Yeah, there's people like
And then I won't eat
Oh, my
just
rice
one
can't
thing and
touch
then
my
go-
beans. No. Oh, it touched the pork. No.
Oh, no. Sometimes it'll all become
throw it.
one.
I'm a throw it
yeah,
all together
yeah.
person too. Yeah. Do you like that?
Weird.
Do you have to eat everything separate, or do you just like throw it all together?
I don't have to eat it separately.
Yeah, I don't either. It all ends up in the same
Yeah.
place, kind of.
It all depends.
Yeah.
On the meal.
Yeah.
When you
True
get your
that.
steak on one plate, and then you have to get your.
Oh, here's my steak. Here's my $85 side of potatoes.
Well, that's different though, because your steak sometimes is too huge, and I don't know. I like mine more on the rare side, so you kind of don't want that blood to roll into your mashed potatoes or anything else. So.
Kind of like when it does roll in, though. It makes the mashed potato give them a little.
Think of that.
Red.
What? Blood?
Band name: Bloody Mashed Potatoes.
Bloody mashed
Bloody
potatoes.
mashed
Yeah.
potatoes.
Or at least a fantasy, at least a fantasy football team, if nothing else. 505-246-0610. Sebastian Noel coming up at 9:30 this morning. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology
Next
and
at
employed
10,
hardworking New Mexicans
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Miami Heat move on, the 1 seed in the East. Winners yesterday, 97-94. The Hawks are out. The 1 seed in the West is 1 game from moving on. They did the Phoenix Suns last night. 112-97 over the Pelicans of New Orleans. So that game heads back to Smoothie King. What is it? Smoothie King Arena? Smoothie King Center? Just Smoothie King? It's kind of the coolest name of a building in the NBA. They're going back to New Orleans, and the Pelicans have to win. And the Grizzlies on a Ja Morant drive late in the game with 1 second left beat the Timberwolves 111-109 in the NBA last night. So it is Memphis with a 3-2 lead over Minnesota. That will be headed back north to the Land Lakes for game number 6. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Coming up at 8:30, we'll hear from Todd Helton, the former Rocky great who was in town yesterday along with former manager Clint Hurdle. Clint Hurdle is going to be with us, scheduled to be with us tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., the former Rockies manager. But we'll hear some of what Todd Helton and Clint Hurdle had to say. Were they asked about 50 Cent Hot Dog Night at the media session yesterday? Was it all about winning and baseball?
No, they were not.
Yeah. How do you take your hot dog? Do you ever eat a hot dog in the dugout during a game? You ever said the clubhouse guy? And if so, how do you like it doctored? I mean, that'd be kind of interesting. I guess we could ask him that.
Terrible question on 50 Cent Hot Dog Night.
Doesn't feel that way, does it?
No.
So we'll get into that coming up in a little bit. Let me get you some emails. You've been sending them. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Actually, let me tell you this first. We got the sweet bids going on. No sweet deal this week, but we have sweet bids, so you can bid on items. And head on over to our website at sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. And we got sweet bids going on right now. I mean, there's a $1,200 gift certificate for any of on-the-spot automotive detailing services, which I think I've told you once or twice is terrific. And you can go bid on that and get a tremendous value on that. So head on over to our website, sportsanimalabq.com, and check out what's there because you can get some really cool things. All right. Lobo Baseball loses yesterday to Grand Canyon, and Dan is in. Team Talk-A-Lot 7, Lobo Baseball 2, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, No Ana Maria, y Gato Estefe. Team Talk-A-Lot did what mighty Texas Tech and Arizona couldn't. Hold Lobo Baseball to 4 hits in an easy win. For the love of God, why was this game played the same time as 50 Cent Hot Dogs a block away? Well, they kind of don't look at each other when they schedule those two. That's why they have separate places to play, correct?
That is correct.
It bother you that Lobo Baseball playing big Grand Canyon? Grand Canyon's got a baseball team, by the way. I think they beat San Diego State. Well, San Diego State's been bad too, but they've been winning. All right, the questions New Mexico gets asked the most, Jeff, from Lobo fans, are where are the scholarships going to come from and where's the playing time going to come from for Lobo basketball? The former was answered yesterday. The latter's still very much up in the air as the departures of Stigwan, Francis, and Taryn Todd clear very few minutes. Combined, under 20 minutes? That's not enough for Dent if he lives up to the hype. How about time for the bigs, which Lobo fans are begging for? Well, the bigs is easy. I mean, you're going to split time. Forsling's going to get less if you get a good big in there. And J.L. and Tovar's not going to have to play as much. And I mean, throw 2 bigs in there and have a rotation. And Donovan Dent, so what if Jamal Mashburn Jr. and assuming Jalen House is back, play 31 minutes a game instead of 38? Would that bother you? 32 minutes a game. And now you have a 3-guard rotation with Dent, House, and Mashburn. Would that bother you? I think that's where the minutes come from. This one's the easiest that you ask me every year, Mean Machine.
It's very simple. It's you try to maybe expand the rotation a little bit in a regular season. See what you have. What can Donovan Dent handle? What minutes work best for him? And then you get to that final month. You get to Vegas. 6, 7 dudes.
Who's balling?
That's it.
That's right. Who's balling? Ray, good morning. How you living? Let me do that again. Hello, Ray.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. I saw your list of the young guys, but Morant, he's a real good player, but that guy needs to change his attitude. He's going to have a lot of people that ain't going to like him. For instance, like Curry and Kobe, they play on the court. Kobe was a beast on the court, but when he got off the court for the little kids, like they would sign autographs autographs like Morant. That little kid, 7-year-old, had a Golden State jersey on it and asked for an autograph, and he told him no because he's not wearing his team's jersey. I think that's he's done it. I guess he's done it before, but I don't think that's right, especially doing that for a little kid if they're going to look up to him. You know what I mean? And as far as the hot dogs go, chili dog, the Doghouse, chili and cheese,
that's always good.
And a regular hot dog, ketchup only.
Ketchup only. Look at you. All right, Ray. By the way, ketchup only is kind of leading. Damn this thing. All right, I can't. There we go. Ketchup only, I think, is leading the way.
So John Morant never denied a kid an autograph.
So I don't know the story.
Yeah, I can understand it comes across that way. There was a kid wearing a Warriors jersey at the Memphis game. John Morant, scores inside, gets knocked down, kind of stands up, kind of stares down the kid, and then post game, he's like, "That's disrespectful. Somebody let me know. We'll get that kid a different jersey."
Wait. So John Morant said that what he did is disrespectful?
He was joking because he scored. The kid was like 7 or 8 years old sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
John Morant, scores and one opportunity falls to the ground. They're playing at home in Memphis.
Yeah.
He gets up. He's kind of staring down the kid. And then after the game, John Morant says, quote, "He was disrespectful with that jersey on. We Memphis."
Come on.
And then he said,
he was kidding, right?
"Bro, take that jersey off, then dap me up. Somebody find his information. I'll send him one myself."
All right. So I guess I can eat that in the spirit. I think it was given.
Is he going a little hard on a kid? Sure, but he offered to send him a John Morant jersey, so and never denied him an autograph.
So, all right, I guess for me to cast a negative impression of John Morant, I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Because, it feels like he's likable. What do I tell you all the time? You can do 1,000 good deeds, and you do one thing that is perceived as negative, and your image is negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do 1,000, I don't want to use that example. You can do 1,000 good deeds, 1,000 things the right way. You can affect people in a positive way 3,000 to 1. But if the one is public, that will be your persona. That will be your image. That will be what people think of you. Picture's worth 1,000 words, right? I guess I'm not ready to turn on a negative image on John Morant because, and to your point, I hadn't heard this story until you just related it to me.
It was like back in January.
It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't bother me that much. It feels like it's in jest. Vince, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Full disclosure, I polished off 7 hot dogs last night.
How you feeling today?
Well, so I spent an hour on the treadmill this morning, so I've worked off 1.5.
I thought you were going to tell me an hour on the throne.
Not bad. Yeah, not bad starting your Wednesday 5.5 hot dogs in the hole, but they were really good. Pretty decent crowd. Excited that you guys are having the Todd Father coming up. That's going to be really nice. But you never, ever put ketchup on a hot dog. Cue up the movie Sudden Impact from Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, no, I get it. What do you put on it? How do you do it?
You got to do mustard.
Only mustard. All right, but what if you don't like it, mustard? What if you like ketchup on your hot dog?
Yeah, my last 2, well, I probably saved about 7 calories from those last 3. But, yeah, just eat it plain. Or there's relish or onions.
All right, or if you like ketchup, put ketchup on it. That's one of those things where I'm never going to tell you how to eat. Eat what you like. All right, though. But I thought you were going to tell me you spent an hour and a half on the throne, not on the treadmill this morning after 7 hot dogs last night. All right, Vince, thank you.
Very good, though.
See you. All right, I'm proud of Vince, though.
Might have been running from the treadmill to the restroom.
Dude.
Like going back and forth.
Dude got up this morning and put in an hour and a half on the treadmill. I'm impressed.
Hey, you own it. You got to own it.
Even though I'm not a hot dog person, if I was there and they were 50 cents, I'd probably be downing them too because, those are
well, and they're
pricey.
Probably, once you get into one, you doctor it up and it's like, all right,
and then you want to prove yourself.
Like sushi, you can always eat one more, right?
You're sitting there with your bros. It's like, I've had 7, or I've had 9.
I've had 9.
You're like, oh, dang it. All right, go get some more.
It's like sushi. You ever leave a piece of sushi? You can you always got room for.
You can always pop one more,
right? And they're so bleeping good. And I always tell Audrey, all right, that's yours. No, those are yours. All right, and when
because that's something like sushi, seafood.
Yeah,
ain't great leftover. You gotta eat.
No. Is this person's name Fiesta? Fiesta, what's up?
Yes, it is.
What's happening?
It's good, gentlemen. Good.
Good.
Yeah, I just want to touch up on the whole 50-cent hot dog night.
Yeah.
Just a little anecdote about back in the day when I was going to old Dukes games with my dad, and had about 5 hot dogs with us, and this is back when they still had the bullpen along the third baseline.
Yeah.
And traded, I think I did a pretty good trade, traded a hot dog to Pedro Martinez for baseball while he was over there sitting in the bullpen.
That's awesome. I love that.
But,
well, how does he like his
yeah,
hot dog? What'd you put on it?
It was just however they had, like the relish or the ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, ketchup and mustard. All right. No, that's awesome. That's a good story. You still have the ball?
I still do.
Yeah.
I still do. And, yeah, my dad, he passed last month, and that was, kind of, a memory that kind of sticks with me is going to the games with him, doing stuff like that. I have a baseball bat signed by, Pedro and, like, a whole bunch of the team from back in the day. And just good times, good
That's
memories.
really cool. Hold on to those, man. Hold on to those. Those I know from experience, those memories help you get through some of those tough times. So hold on to the momentum, the mementos, but more so the memories, Fiesta. Appreciate the call, man. Don't be a stranger.
I appreciate it.
That's cool. How about that, man?
Core memory right there.
No. So back in the day, the bullpens used to be right there along the third base and first base side, the lines there, so right next to the fans, and now they're out past left field. Well, both here at left field, and so the fans. Literally the benches were sitting right there, and the fans were interacting. And so dude said, "Hey, I'll trade you a hot dog for a baseball." And Pedro was hungry. Hey, that's beautiful. That's one of those you don't ever forget.
No,
you just don't ever forget that. All right, how do you do your hot dog? Who was it? Just called and told me. Was it Ray? Vince can't do ketchup. JJ, and you're like, yeah, whatever. You can't, but I can. Do what you want. You want to put sugar on it? Do that. You want to put a little milk? Oh, what? Do what you again. Doesn't sound right to me, but
dip your bun in milk and eat it? What do we?
Do you ever watch the 4th of July? Those dudes dipping it in water the whole time?
Yeah.
They do their thing. 505-246-0610. We'll hear some of what Todd Helton, he's not going to be with us, but some of what he said yesterday when we come back. Aaron Jones opened International Protective Service, IPS, back in 2006. So what is IPS? I know you see their cars, their vehicles all around town. They are a security company that I've trusted for years to watch my home, and they watch homes and businesses all over Albuquerque. Those homeowners and business owners trust IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. Why? Because crime's on the uptick, because officer shortage continues, and because criminals don't seem to care about what they're taking and who they're hurting, and so you need an extra layer of protection. Aaron's from here. He's passionate about Albuquerque, making it a safer place to live and work by watching your home, watching your business with highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols. I've trusted IPS for a long, long time. It gives my family, my neighbors, a sense of security. In fact, my next-door neighbors also now have reached out, and they've got IPS watching their home as well. You go out of town, they'll pick up the mail, the newspapers, roll garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day, whatever it is that you need them to do. You got a delivery dropped off, they'll pick it up so it's not sitting on the porch and waiting for a pirate to come take it. They've done that for me as well. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. It's 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
That we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Arby's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
whatever's there, man. Throw a little of this, a little of that. Hey, they're giving, I'm taking, kind of a thing, right? Anytime you feel like getting. All right, how do you like your dog? 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Isotopes lose last night 9-7 to Sacramento. I know it's not Sacramento. I understand.
Sacramento.
Every once in a while I say these things and Jared Hart, our program director, once said to me, like, where did this blued out thing came? You know, and we've been doing the show for so long, and there's, you know, there's phrases that have evolved with you all who have been with us over the years, and then us, and I guess we got caught up in, like, where did blued out come? What the hell is that? And I once had an English teacher send an email or call or something, you know, what that's just wrong. You're supposed to be better than that. No, blued out was Tim Lightfoot, a former Lobo basketball player, when they got knocked out of the NCAA tournament in '99 in Denver. I think it was '99, might have been 2000. And I did an interview. We were in the locker room, and I remember it just goes, man, we got blued out. And so we say that, right? Where does stuff come from? But that's where some of these I get.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah,
yeah. Every once in a while I get, hey, that's grammatically incorrect.
Loop people back in.
Yeah, bring it back in. Mm-hmm. All right, so you were out yesterday, and you talked to Clint Hurdle, who's going to be with us tomorrow on the show, due with us at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the former Rockies and Pittsburgh Pirates manager, former big league player. He was in town along with Todd Helton, and so they're working both with the Rockies organization. Is that right?
They're working. Yeah, they're been brought in by the Rockies to essentially just hit all the affiliates, work with players, and try to be a different set of eyes, give some information. And as Clint Hurdle said yesterday, when Todd Helton walks into the building, the back of his baseball card resonates more than anyone else. And if you want to bounce something off Todd Helton, you got stuff that maybe you're not comfortable directly going to your coaches about, that's a dude that you're going to sit down and listen to, like, hey, Todd, you got like 30 seconds? And Todd Helton was all business yesterday.
All right,
he just wanted to be there for baseball.
All right, so what was the first thing we're going to ask Todd Helton here?
I asked him about hitting home versus the road, because Todd Helton was one of those hitters that was good away from Coors Field. It is something that's held against anyone who plays for the Colorado Rockies.
Always has been.
We get it. It's an offensive ballpark. Todd Helton is a Hall of Fame baseball player regardless of where he hit the baseball, but it's a major thing that the Colorado Rockies, the Albuquerque Isotopes, haven't been able to figure out is the consistency on the road. And so I asked him about just the mentality of a hitter, you know, going from a park like that to a road venue.
It's a good question. It's a question.
Good question.
I think we're still asking. It is harder to adjust when you go on the road and you get back to sea level. Breaking balls are a little bit sharper. Ball doesn't go as far. So it's a big adjustment, and I think it's one that gets overlooked.
Well, I agree. And we've tried multiple devices. I mean, we used to bring a spin wiffle ball machine on the road to try and accentuate, spin when we got on the road. I don't know if anything worked better than the other, but I think it comes down to a mindset as well. Winning baseball plays, whether you're at sea level, whether you're at 5280. There were days in Colorado we'd have the conversation. If you brought the Braves into Colorado and played, they'd win games. Their pitchers would get people out. Maybe not to the same degree. So I think you got to change your mindset internally. That 6 innings, 3 earned runs is a quality start. There's days at Coors Field, 6 innings, 5 earned runs is a quality start. It's just the way it is. So those personal numbers got to kind of get pushed to the side. And you really got to kind of rebrand that team game.
It's one thing I want to talk to Clint Hurdle about tomorrow. I hear all the time about how it's a different game when you're playing at Coors Field. The other guys are playing the same place. And I always thought, and you have the advantage, right, because you play there more. But if the ball is spinning more or less at Coors Field, if it's not breaking as sharply or flying further for you, it's also the same thing for them. It's not like you're playing on one field and they're playing on another today.
You are on the same baseball field.
So I want to talk to him about that mindset. All right, then you asked Todd Helton a little bit about specific pitchers.
Well, he is one of the best hitters.
He's terrific.
You talk about dudes in the box, staying alive, fouling off pitches, working the count, and with all the information that's out there, all the things we talk about, I asked Todd, like, what did he want to know when you stepped in that batter's box? What was critical for you as a hitter to know about an opponent?
I like to see what the pitcher threw when he had runners on base, when when his butt was on the line. What did he throw? How did he react? What did he get outs with? You can look at all the other stuff, but and learn from it. But until you see what's happening when they're in trouble, that's what you're going to get when there is two men on base.
I will tell you that is the biggest, and another thing to ask Clint Hurdle tomorrow, but the biggest development, the biggest advancement, the biggest change in hitting over the last 30 years, I'll give it 30, has been film study and the study that pitchers do, hitters do on pitchers. I think prior to about 30 years ago, you charted pitches, you watched guys from the dugout. And I do believe, and I told you this before, Tony Gwynn, I think, was the first one who spent time watching his swing and watching pitchers. And obviously now that's part of it. I mean, you hear about film study, video study all the time. But what Todd Helton said right there, I think is the biggest change over the last 30 years in hitters. And we can talk about smaller ballparks and the juiced baseball and all that. But I think one of the things that's never talked about is the work that the hitters have put in studying over the 30 years that has also increased offensive baseball.
Yes, and it sounds so simple, but the mindset of just getting in there, there is so much information that you could take in, and for Todd Helton, he's just like, when this count gets tight, when there's a runner on base, what did this dude go to?
Yeah.
And I'm going to attack that.
Because I know it, because I watch it, because I studied it, because, it's what I do. It's part of being a professional, isn't it? It's your job. It's what you do. It's not just the 3 hours between the lines. It's part of being a professional. 505-246-0610. Coming up at 9:30 this morning, Sebastian Noel is going to be with us. The voice of the people from ProView Networks. We'll talk high school sports with him. You can get in on any of that. I got more hot dog talk from 50s. Ooh, and some peanut butter and jelly talk as well.
Peanut butter jelly
crunchy
time.
Or smooth. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM or AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Staples has everything your office needs at great prices. And this
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go
The
after school.
Sports Animal.
Big one for the Bulls tonight, and they're going to be without 2 of their best. It's the opening drive. Jeff Zimbieta and J.J. Buck, or Jeff Zimbieta and B.B. Juck, or
Zimbieta.
Is that how it looked like when I saw it on that? And you showed it to me the other day. It was on the Journal's reader poll. How come they're so critical when we make a mistake, but they can misspell whatever they want? I'm just asking.
There was a lot of copy and pasting going on.
From where?
I don't know from where, but you can vote for 610 and 95.9.
Oh, that's awesome.
Separately instead of one. Zimbieta. At least A. Marie and Zimbieta are on the list. Vote for the Sports Animal, y'all.
So,
because you know the superstars at KKOB.
This is the Journal's
ABQ Journal's Readers' Choice Awards.
So I've seen my name spelled a lot of ways. Believe me, I've never seen that one. I wonder where it was copied and pasted. I mean, I'm grateful to make the list. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful. Just didn't know where it came from.
I think
Are
we
these
should
like
stuff
public, like
Yeah.
the People's Choice Awards, like people nominate
That's
you,
right.
or how do you get into that?
Yeah, that's right. I think that's right.
Stuff the ballot for Emery. Take them down. Because you know the superstars like Bob Clark, Eric Strauss, BV,
Yeah.
TJ, like they're just going to get everything. Always get the vote. Vote for Emery, y'all. Let's do it.
I'm down. All right, Bulls need to win tonight. They play Milwaukee. They're down 3-1. Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso out for Chicago. Zach LaVine is not feeling well. He's in health and safety protocols. And Alex Caruso is in concussion protocol. He took a hit to the face from Javon Carter in Game 4. So, LaVine not feeling good. He's a 2-time All-Star, didn't travel to Milwaukee. Caruso's out. They're down 3-1. I mean, this is check, please, right? Thank you for coming.
It's over.
Against the defending champions.
Good night now.
Good night now. Yeah, this one is check, please. May we close this out tonight?
You got Giannis, got Drew Holiday balling. This isn't even like the Heat who are like, you know what, we can rest Jimmy Butler, and we'll still close out.
Probably
the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, probably. I think you're right on that. So you get that, and you get Golden State at home tonight, trying to close out the chicky Nuggets. That happens tonight as well. Nuggets felt like they threw everything they can just to avoid a sweep, and it's like, all right, we didn't get swept, all right, and now let's.
Oh, the Warriors are gonna end this.
That's tonight, right? I agree.
They're gonna rain fire.
Rain fire
on the Nuggets
because they lost a game. All right.
Well, they're just gonna hit their threes that bounced out in the second half in Denver.
Yeah,
those are gonna fall.
All right,
tonight.
All right. Gus says first game wins, Jeff. The key for pitchers to have success is first pitch strikes. Likewise, to have success in the PCL, I think the first game wins are critical. Albuquerque's baseball team is 0-4 in series winning the first game. It's hard to win a series if you're always chasing. True. It is. It is true. Gopher wants to know, he says 3-0. Jeff, how does the computer strike zone change the automatic strike on 3-0 the ref calls if the pitch is in the same zip code? Well, it's just going to be a ball. I mean, the computer's not going to know what the count is. So if the umpire has been a little bit kind to the pitcher on a 3-0 obvious take situation and calling a strike on a pitch that was a little bit off, it will be ball 4. I mean, the computer will have no emotion. The computer will not be hearing the heckling from the dugout. The computer does not understand the game situation.
The computer will not be offended when you talk about its motherboard.
Its motherboard. Does your motherboard know you're screwing us? Does your wife board? Does your wife know you're screwing us? That's always my favorite heckle. Hey, ump, does your wife know you're screwing? I mean, come on now.
Is baseball because of like the strike zones changing?
No. Is it baseball because of it? No, but it's part of it. See, this is what's going to be really interesting about this experiment. You're going to get the exact. Are you going to like it? And we'll see. And that's why they're starting it in the minor leagues. 505-246-0610. Come on and play radio with us. Sebastian Noel at 9:30. We'll talk high school stuff with the Grand Poobah, the voice of the people. Coming up, that's 9:30 this morning. You got room to get in. Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Watch the show, Comcast Channel 26. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. Also on our Facebook page, The OD and the AM. Stephanie is in this morning. In for, I don't know, I mean, is she on a work trip or a person? I don't even know what it is. Getting married at the draft? Amory's out. Steph is in. Talk to her. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
The best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. Don't sweat the technique. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Cimbietta, and JJ Buck. Don't sweat
Ja. It was a jaw-dropping dunk. And then a bucket at the almost buzzer. Memphis' winner last night in a series that, as JJ's clearly told you, and he's not wrong, the Minnesota Timberwolves could have won by now, but instead they find themselves down 3-2 and headed back to the land of the lakes. Opening drive, good morning to you, Jeff Cimbietta and JJ Buck. Grizzlies win a thriller last night at home. The 2 seed is in a battle in the first-round playoff series of the West. Ja Morant was terrific. The highlight, if you've not seen the dunk, find it. Okay, if you've not seen, just go Ja and dunk. Google it, and you'll go, oh damn, it's as good of a dunk as you've seen, right? Period.
It's fantastic.
What is Ja? 6'1", 6'2"?
Yes.
He's got mad ups. Is his body? I've told you this a number of times today. I believe he's on pace to become the face or one of the faces of the NBA.
6'3" he's listed at.
Okay. Is his body sustainable long term the way he plays?
Yes.
Okay. I think so too. I do too. Look, anybody can have a freak injury. Anybody can blow out a knee and things can go. I mean, I look at anything from Jay Williams to
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose is where I was going with this. And thank you, Adrian. Adrian, if you're watching on ProView Networks, Adrian found it for you and just showed you. It's
the ones where you're going to dunk, but then you even get more elevation, like, over the dude that you're dunking on because you're just using him to just.
You know what? It always feels like an extra gear in the air. You know, like you watch a sprinter, and if you were ever, did you ever run competitive? Did you ever run track and field or run a race? You can just watch it. You could see someone coming down the stretch, and there's two runners that are close to each other, and there's that runner or a horse at a horse race where there's like that extra gear, and they just go, and you're digging, you've got everything in the tank, and you just don't have it left, and there's that extra gear. For that dunk, there was like an extra gear in the air, right? He took off, and then there was like an extra acceleration. It was terrific. And I don't know what's more impressive, that or just the layup. So the guy made a layup at the end of the game. So what?
An acrobatic layup.
And Adrian's killing it with the video, by the way. If you've enhanced your opening drive pleasure by watching us on the ProView Networks, it's really, really good. The stuff that Adrian's been putting up, being able to show you that stuff. But he was terrific. I just thought that was big. We haven't talked about the Suns, JJ. Barely. What Mikal Bridges did yesterday, 31 points for Phoenix in a game in which Devin Booker was out, in a game in which they also were embroiled in a battle with the New Orleans Pelicans. The number one seed in the West goes into last night 2-2 at home, and I will tell you, it was a must-win for Phoenix last night. Now, they wouldn't have been out if they lost, but it was a must-win for Phoenix last night.
It was. Because then you're going back to New Orleans, questioning yourself, how are we going to get this done? That would have meant that CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram did it again. Those guys firing on all cylinders, got a good defensive performance. That's what the Suns have to hang their head on even more so now, is being just that much better than everyone they play defensively, because it's going to take them a little bit of time to figure out the offense, because Mikal Bridges had a game. Now it's going to be, all right, can Mikal Bridges score 20, and then Cam Johnson get you 15 to kind of get those numbers, because Chris Paul hovering in this range, I think 20 and 10, he averages that with that defensive ability that they have. That's best case scenario for them to hang on as long as possible to, knock on wood, keep your fingers crossed for the Suns to get Devin Booker back.
Going back to New Orleans now for Game 6, which I would consider, if not the best, one of the top atmospheres in the NBA in the playoffs. Give me a better atmosphere right now than what they have at Smoothie King.
It's been phenomenal. That arena, what you saw in Memphis last night, the way Minnesota is responding.
These young fan base, young teams with fan bases who are just starving, right? New Orleans is one of the smallest markets in the NBA, so as is Memphis. Watching young teams, this shows you that fans will appreciate it, right? Those are young clubs that weren't built by just bringing in superstars and having them bring a buddy with them. Memphis, I'm going to guess the majority of you, even watching the playoffs over the last week and a half, can't name me 3 Memphis Grizzlies. You think?
We're waiting.
Yeah. Can you name me now? Maybe you can with the Pelicans. You can name me 2, CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. But I mean, who is Dylan Brooks? Oh, that was that dude from Oregon, right? He was really good in college. That shows me, JJ, and this has really kind of been one of those themes for me over the last couple of weeks. How will franchises and teams and rosters, and your term yesterday was right, in roster construction, how will that be over the next 5 years of the National Basketball Association? Will it be more, because you're going to have big names come up for free agency. Zion Williamson's going to come up for free agency. All these guys are. Is the answer chase these guys down, and it's going to always be tempting, right? Let's give Josh $60 million a year. That's right, I said 60 because you got dudes making 50 now a year. And build around him, or do we build internally? You know, it's funny. You were talking about the NFL draft, and just keep pushing these pieces down the road. Oh, I don't want all these picks. And then I look around and I look at teams that have utilized these picks and done well and built a franchise with these picks. I look at what Minnesota's doing. I look at Memphis. New Orleans, not so much internally because, I mean, their big pick was Zion. Their two best players were acquired in trades, but I think pretty smart trades in Brandon Ingram from the Lakers in the Anthony Davis trade. And the way they got C.J. McCollum at the end of the year. Their two best players were acquired in trades, but the rest of that roster is pretty much organic, right? Golden State.
It is.
Golden State's roster. They drafted Steph, Clay, and Draymond. And they drafted Poole. And by the way, they drafted Poole with the 28th pick overall. It doesn't have to be a lottery pick now. And y'all are telling me, oh, well, Jordan, what did I hear this morning? They're going to trade Steph Curry because Jordan Poole they're going to build around Jordan Poole? You're not trading Steph Curry. Now, this works. To have that core, and Anthony Wiggins, and Wiseman hasn't played yet?
2019 was very nice in the NBA draft.
Go.
So Ja Morant was number 2 overall. Zion Williamson went number 1.
Yep. Okay.
That was right now. You'll take Ja Morant 10 times out of 10, but that wasn't the worst decision.
Yeah, but the jury's still out.
Yeah, that was not the worst decision. But then you got, speaking of the Hawks, I believe that they do have a good running mate in DeAndre Hunter.
Okay.
He was a 4th overall pick in that draft. Darius Garland went. You saw Cam Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that draft. How about this run from in the teens? 12, 13, 14, 11, 12, 13. Cam Johnson, P.J. Washington, Tyler Hero. And Hero is 6th man off the bench for the Miami Heat, the number 1 seed. And Brandon Clark was the 21st overall selection.
Pride of where?
San Jose State. And Gonzaga.
Yeah. All right, 505 and Gonzaga.
And
he also played a Gonzaga.
The 28th overall selection,
Jordan Poole.
2019 hit, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be free agency. I know there's teams, and you've mentioned this a lot. I don't need picks. You want to give me that guy right now. And if you're going to tell me the guy I'm getting is better than anything I'm going to be able to get with this draft pick, I'm listening to you. Now, you got to figure salary and cap and that whole thing, and the rookie's going to be cheaper than the veteran. But if you're just going to tell me, well, trade these picks, I want to trade back, when are you going to use them? What are you getting for them? And I'm watching roster construction around this league right now, and I'm watching how Memphis got to be Memphis. Yes, their 2 best players were acquired by trade. Look at Boston. How did Boston become Boston? Are you kidding me with their top 3? Are you kidding me with Tatum and Brown? And what? And time. Yeah. All right. I'll go top 4. Yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
6th overall pick in 2014.
Yeah.
And you hang on to him. Then you add Brown to the equation.
Look what Boston just did to team put together. Mm-hmm. Look what they did. They swept them. They swept Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving with guys that they drafted. Philadelphia. It's a process. I mean, for the most part, Toronto. I'm just telling you, the teams that are having longevity and are winning are the teams that did it not exclusively, but primarily organically, drafted. Put their teams together through the draft instead of just going out and acquiring. Look, free agency is always going to be a big deal, and I think it's important. I'm not downplaying. I'm not telling you it should go away. But I think this is going to be how rosters are constructed as we move forward. Sebastian Noel at the bottom of the hour, 9:30.
And for basketball fans, this is good because I know there was a moment the last few years where people were souring on the game. And they're just tired of the superstars and of these super teams and these guys doing whatever they want. You know, it's different. When you're signing LeBron James, Kevin Durant, you have that ability, you're going to do it. But what we're seeing, as you just laid out, Jeff, is there's hope, there's potential. The Milwaukee Bucks just won an NBA championship.
Toronto Raptors.
Because they hit on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yep.
There is hope for everyone in this league to be successful.
Thanks for remembering you listen to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Sports Animal has your shot at $100, 10.
Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does.
505-246-0610. How do you eat your hot dog? Steph, ketchup, mustard. Half of the dog has relish. Then she can't handle the jelly pickles anymore and realize what she's eating. So then it's got to go other. JJ's just ketchup. I'm going ketchup, mustard, and the relish. Got somebody who loves just the where is it? I gotta find it now. Dogs, mustard and onions. Costco dogs. That's what he says. I like mine basic, Jeffy. The big $1.50 one from Costco that comes with a Pepsi. It's from Mean Machine.
Something that's different about that Costco food court.
Good.
After you've just dropped, a couple $100 on your supplies for the next couple weeks, and you're like, best slice ever.
They got that big, thick Hebrew National dog, right? Yeah. That's good eating. That's good.
It's a reward.
All right, this came down yesterday, and unanimously, universally, everybody's been saying good riddance. It's about time. Mark Emmert is the NCAA president. He's stepping down after 12 years of leading the NCAA, and I get it. I get where you're coming from. Can I tell you that I think people are going to realize Mark Emmert wasn't the problem? That the way this whole system is constructed, is set up, is evolving, is going through a seismic shift is the inherent problem. Now, I will agree with you. They need a more dynamic leader, someone that might be a bit more forward-thinking to lead the NCAA. And I don't even know what the NCAA is going to look like anymore. What is it they are going to govern? And it may be everything but football, which, by the way, is a lot. Okay? Football, every time we have this conversation, it's about football. What about men's basketball? What about it? Nobody's yelling at me that and men's basketball should break away. It's football. But I think you're going to learn 2 things out of this. I think they've got to find, and I don't know who it is, but a dynamic, forward-thinking leader who is going to be able to listen to both sides. Because what you need to understand is Mark Emmert worked for the university presidents, all 300 and whatever of them. Okay? Or there's more than that because the NCAA isn't just Division I. That's for whom he worked. He didn't work for you or the student athletes or anybody else. He works for them. But I do believe Mark Emmert to be a good guy, a good man. He may not be great at what he did, and that's fine. But he claims to have the student athletes' interest in his decisions. But JJ, what I think we're going to learn from this is, wow, this wasn't all about Mark Emmert.
Which I actually think is a problem.
Well, of course it is.
Because, this is one where, if you want to know what's up with the NCAA, listen to Jeff Simieta. Like, you're the dude that talks to people from so many different sides. I'm not going to sit here and just jump on Mark Emmert because it's the trendy thing to do.
It's really easy.
But what really upsets me is one of the things that you just said there. Mark Emmert works for the conference commissioners, and for so long, it was these conference commissioners.
I think he works for the school presidents.
These school presidents.
Yeah.
They were so scared of professionalism that they did not know how to adapt money into sports when these sports are making a ton of money. And it's not just saying, oh, New Mexico State has all the money in the world. It was, you're trying to govern everything as one, and that's impossible. And it took them far too long to understand that. It took them far too long to adjust to say, hey, maybe we need to separate the NCAA and have branches. Instead of just being, hey, I'm Mark Emmert, NCAA president. Here's a ruling for the NCAA that is one size fits all, and that's not the product. And it just felt like why we're in this position of the wild, wild west of wondering kind of what's next for collegiate athletics is because there was never that adjustment. It was just, this is amateur athletics. This is the way it's going to be. We're going to fight this tooth and nail. And then when that dam broke, they're like, uh-oh, what do we do?
Do you realize Alabama and Eastern New Mexico both fly under the NCAA flag, right? And there's nothing similar about those athletic programs. Nothing. Other than they play sports that look alike. But they fly under the same flag and some of the same rules. And so, to your point, the adaptability has got to be there. It is a seismic shift that's going on in the world of collegiate athletics. There is money being made, but not everybody has money. Well, how can that be, Jeff? How can you tell me people – and it's not just the group of 5 schools who are not making money. JJ, we see stories all the time. Washington, $26 million in the hole. Wisconsin, $22 million upside down in their athletic department every year. And then if New Mexico's $400,000 upside down, people here lose their freaking minds. This isn't as simple as, well, there's a bunch of money and everybody's making it except for the kids. Well, not really. Not really. So I want to watch this evolve. But I think what you're going to learn from it is it wasn't all Mark Emmert. Now, do they need a new voice, a new dynamic leader? I believe that's right, and the timing's fine on this. But I think
that's the problem, though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It was someone that, all right, I'm here because this is what, the presidents, the ADs, the way it is, and no one was like, kind of like, hey, maybe we need to start thinking outside the box. Maybe we need to move things across the board
because it's moving.
Because it's moving, and one size fits all does not work for the NCAA.
That's right. Terry, good morning to you.
Good morning to all of you. Hope you're having a wonderful hump day. I got off the hot dogs. Hot dogs, I'll eat it anytime. I grew up with their Wiener Schnitzel, 3 for $1. One day we'd get kraut, one day we'd get chili. It was a nice lunchtime staple. Mark Sanchez on the sidelines eating hot dogs, football. Kevin Mitchell, they had scenes of him eating hot dogs during the game, playing baseball. So, baseball, hot dogs, good thing. Whatever anybody wants, take them, do it. Emmert, I'm glad he's going. Yeah, is he the whole problem? No, but he was a status quo guy when status quo was just not the way. So somebody has to come in and try something, and it might not work, but what was going on was just sinking fast. So maybe they break it up. Maybe they have a football-like commissioner, maybe a sub-basketball commissioner, maybe the Olympic sports, something, different. And so they got to try something because it's going out the window. Last night's game, the ending, with the Grizzlies, I don't know if they were even each team had a coach or they were picking coaches out of the stands because, Grizzlies up by 3, you think you might guard Edwards at the end of the game, but, let's leave him wide open to make a 3 to tie it up. And then, then it's like, well, now let's try to steal the ball. And then Morant takes his drive and puts it away. So from that standpoint, it's a lot of talent. It's a lot of fun. Who knows? Yes, Timberwolves probably should have won this. They've given away at least 2 of the games. So from that standpoint. And last little bit from yesterday, Jeff, I know you don't like furs, but 50 years ago, it was a great place to eat, go down the line. For me, they didn't have sushi or your, Grugio or whatever, anything like that. But I always loved chicken fried steak and all that. And then they turned it into an all-you-could-eat place. And, it went totally downhill.
Yeah, when it became all you could do to yourself, it was – I just thought it was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, well, the one, like I said, 40 years ago, and then when they just put out mass food, and it fed my son, so it was nice to keep him there for a reasonable amount. So as a college kid, but so there was a Mexican food place. I forget the name. Oh, you want to take years off your life? It was an all-you-can-eat, probably 40 or 50 years ago. It was on Central, and you'd pull up your little flag and they bring you more
Ponchos.
stuff. And
Ponchos,
you
yeah,
know, when you're in
ponchos,
college and $3, you know.
I get it. I
but
did it
then
back
you-
in the day. All you can do to
Yeah.
yourself for $3-5. Yep, and you do. All right, Terry, I got to hit the break.
Okay, have a good one.
See you.
Take care.
Coming up next, I mean, I don't know how he feels about all you can do to yourself buffets, but you know, if they're good, I don't mind paying a little extra. Like there's some, you know, there's some good buffets. $5 probably is going to hurt you a little bit. Who's it called earlier? Oh, I spent an hour and a half on the throne this morning after eating 7 of those hot dogs. Oh, that was the
Treadmill.
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 Sorry. Whatever. You call it what you want. Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people, next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
The Sports Animal has your
Stucco like dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Carcrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's
All right,
loudest
it's windy
moments.
and it's almost going to be May. That means there's got to be track meets and baseball games, right? I mean, when you're just sitting out there and your toupee's flying away. I mean, well, that's why I don't wear a toupee. Well, that's not why I don't wear one, but if I wore one, that would be an issue. I mean, you'd have to have like super high-quality glue to get think of it, right? If you're wearing a rug last, what was it, Friday? And I played 18 holes in that mess on Friday. But you'd have to tack that thing down like with a staple gun, wouldn't you?
That's gone away, right?
What?
Toupees?
I'm not
Faded.
certain I think that has.
This little thing.
I mean, obviously, I'm not wearing one, and obviously, our next guest, the voice of the people, Sebastian Noel's not wearing one. But I mean, Sebastian, you know people who might still be wearing a toupee, right?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, you know one. You know one. I'll tell you who it is. I'm just
Wow.
not going to out him on the air.
Oh, nice. All right, I'll be looking for that text as soon as I get off the phone with you guys.
All right, I saw you out at the place. I didn't see you. I was looking for you. I know you played at the place I play golf on Sunday. Saw you on the tee sheet. I was looking for you. I think you were about, 6 groups in front of me. How'd you play?
I did all right for my first time there at the Canyon Club. You know, the greens are as tough as you said they were.
Told you. You got to know them a little bit, right?
Yeah.
People are telling you, no, it breaks left, and you're like, no way it breaks left. And so you hit it where you think, and you're like, damn, I should have listened to the guy who's a member.
Absolutely. You know, and when that one member is playing against 3 or 4 guys that have never played there,
Oh, he didn't tell you much.
and there's money involved, yeah, he doesn't really tell you about stuff, right?
Nor should he. That is the competitive balance of this entire thing. All right, before we get into the high school stuff, can I read you a question from the email that says, I got a question for the honcho. Where is it? I got to find it now. I should have had it up. Question for the ProView honcho. This is a Gladiators thing. Jeff, what did he, that would be you, think of the Frisco game and the way their version of the cheerleaders and chaparrals were used to freeze Duke City's Gladiators? From what I understand, they ran out before third down right in the middle of a series. The refs had to shoo them off. They came out again before a critical Gladiator fourth down during a 30-second timeout, and you can't do a 2-minute routine. And Duke City waited, yelling at the refs, and Sherman Carter was irate, and the refs didn't do anything, and they missed the field goal.
Listen, I wish I could tell you that was all a orchestrated plan by the Frisco Fighters. You know, there should be a full investigation and be outraged, but I've been around indoor football long enough to know that it's not very organized at times. So I'm sure that those bombshells, they call them the bombshells.
Oh, that's good. The Frisco Bombers and their cheer squad's the Bombshells. That's very good. I give them credit for
And
that.
I'm sure the bombshells just ran out there because, you know, the game ops person didn't really know what's happening. And so I would be more inclined to ask why we went for an onside kick when we were up by 3 scores, or why we didn't score for most of the second half and found a creative new way to lose. That's what I'd be scratching my head at. That was a heartbreaking way to lose a game. But, yeah, I just, you know, trust me, that's not something that happened intentionally. There's not enough orchestration that goes on in an indoor game. It was just a thing, you know, it happened.
There you go, Jeremy. There's your answer. By the way, what are the Gladiators dance and cheer squad called?
Yeah, I don't think they have a name like the Bombshells. Actually, they don't have a name like that. So.
All right, the Duke City Dancers maybe is all I got for you. I went that team. I don't know. He's Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people.
Well, Sebastian, we're seeing a lot now that APS is able to do. I want to get into what was announced, I think it was the end of last week. 8th graders available for, was it varsity play, and what does that mean for APS schools?
Well, I love it because other schools have done it, and I think maybe the benefit from this could be that it starts to eat away at open enrollment a little bit, because there's the one caveat: if you're an 8th grader and you're going to participate in varsity sports, you have to do it in the district that you're living in. And so let's just say that 8th grader, they go and play at whatever school that they live near. That takes away their open enrollment choice. So they're at that school, right? So maybe, you know, because we always talk about open enrollment's not going away, right? But maybe this helps some athletes maybe stay closer to the school that they actually should be going to, and let's see what it does to competitive balance.
Well, but can they transfer? So what you're saying, let's say a student athlete is at Madison Middle School, and they're in the Sandia district, and in 8th grade they're good enough they can play, and they play for Sandia. But then in 9th grade they're going into high school. Can they then transfer to La Cueva like so many do?
I don't believe so, because they don't get that open enrollment choice because they've already played varsity at Sandia.
Interesting.
So if they were to make the transfer, then they'd have to sit out, or, you know, unless there's a hardship waiver or all those other things. But so that's what I mean. It kind of softens the open enrollment a little bit, because if they're good enough to play as an 8th grader, you're making a choice because you're giving up that open enrollment decision, which is the way I understand it.
This is really catch up for the APS, isn't it? Because if I'm not wrong, Didn't girls 4A golf, and I know I'm getting a little specific, but the state runner-up last year for 4A golf, and I'm pretty sure it went to extra holes. Kalia Ward was an 8th grader at the academy, and she was playing varsity golf as an 8th grader, correct?
Oh, yeah, it happens everywhere. I mean, we talk about Jalen Holland a lot on this program, the basketball player at Los Lunas. He started playing varsity as an 8th grader. That's a rule that's been on the books for Cleveland and Rio Rancho. I know it's rare, but Cleveland had an 8th grader on their varsity basketball team this year, Remy Albrecht. Rio Rancho had one about 6-7 years ago by the name of Kenny Noland, right? So it does, and you go down to the smaller levels, and, you know, it happens all the
Just to fill
time.
rosters, yeah.
Single A, double A, you know, they put in a full 5 years at the varsity level. I don't even know if it happens at Pecos, right? Because
somebody might
Lady would have to confirm that, but you know, places like that, you know, little smaller schools, you could start participating earlier. That's why they tend to have these really gaudy career scoring numbers, things like that, because they get an extra year at it. I'm curious now if the Panthers have ever had to dip into the 8th grade to fill their basketball roster.
He is the voice of the people, Sebastian Noel, with us on the opening drive.
We're also seeing some new fields on deck across the metro area. Rio Rancho is doing it, you know, for the Rams and the Storm. What does that just mean for the athletes? Fresh fields, play on football. I know there's going to be some soccer tournaments as well.
You know, it's great. I mean, you've been to Wilson, you've been to Milne. Those facilities need to be upgraded, right? And the field is one aspect of that. I would argue that there's more to be done, right? And we should find the money to do it. But, you know, we got to keep up with the times, right? And if Cleveland and Rio Rancho have these really nice facilities, there's no reason APS shouldn't either. And I think it's fantastic. Anytime we put resources into our student athletes, I'm all for it.
And Sebastian, all right, where do we sit now? I know there's some district clinchers going on in the world of baseball. What are you looking at over the next few days?
Well, you know, Cleveland clinched their district last night with another win against Rio Rancho, so a lot of people thought Rio Rancho would win that district. So that's, I think, the interesting thing. We're going to have to wait out seeding and selection, right? Because Sandia is going to win their district, which means La Cueva has to be seated behind them. Cleveland won their district, which means obviously Rio Rancho has to be seated behind them. Rio Grande could end up not winning their district, so they'd have to be seated behind Los Lunas. So there's going to be some really good teams that are seated in that middle, and it's going to make for a pretty interesting tournament.
When's the regular season end?
One more week of the regular season.
All right. Best teams then go 5A and 4A. Best teams to watch.
I'm going to stay true to what I've been saying all year, and that's La Cueva and Academy at those two levels.
Went out and saw, so Academy's a defending 4A champ, and La Cueva's defending 5A champ, right?
Correct.
So you're looking for repeats. Went out and saw. I did. I got about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, went out and saw Academy. A buddy said, come on out. And I was on a call running late, and he says, never mind. We're down 7-0. I'm like, I'm coming anyway. By the time I got there, it was 7-7. Watched them walk off Farmington in extra innings, and it was actually a really fun watch. They're deep. I think when you get into these situations, pitching tells me everything. And so is there anybody deep enough pitching-wise to go after those two teams to get into a tournament-style situation where you got to win a state championship in deep pitching?
Well, you know, the way it works, obviously, is they have that first round is a best of 3 if necessary on a Friday and then Saturday. And then, you know, we all get to UNM and eventually Isotopes Park there the following weekend. So not only is it who's the deepest at pitching, right, but who has the luxury of maybe holding an ace, right? So you don't want to get eliminated from that tournament without your best pitcher pitching, right? So can you afford to hold an ace till this? Usually you'll see most aces throw in the semifinals, right? The good teams are pretty comfortable with their number 2 guy going in the quarters, and then their ace usually goes in the finals, and then, you know, like we've talked about before, it's Johnny Holstaff for the championship, right? There's a few teams that I think have La Cueva obviously has the pitching depth. I think Sandia's got some depth there. Volcano and Rio Rancho are pretty deep. At 4A, you know, I don't think there's a lot of teams that have the pitching depth of an Academy.
And that's, look, I think it's always such a risk. And I remember when A.J. Bregman was pitching. Alex's little brother was pitching for Academy. And they held him on the Friday, or on Thursday. They held him in the quarters. We're holding him until the semis, and they were down 5-0. I want to say to Farmington. And they put him in, but it was too late, and they weren't able to come back. And I think he gave up a home run on his first batter, and then shut him down the rest of the way. It's you're rolling the dice, man. And that to me is always one of the biggest decisions by these head coaches is when do I throw my ace? And to your point, how good and how confident am I in number 2?
Yeah, and it's something that I particularly don't enjoy about the playoffs because a lot of times you just don't get good pitching in the championship, right? Because those guys are already gone. You remember one year, Carlsbad, Rogers was pitching. They got a really big lead at the beginning of the game, and everyone was saying, "Hey, should he take him out?"
Yes, save him for Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, and so like for example, in Texas, they've started state playoffs already. And they're doing best of threes every weekend, and it's basically a 4-week culmination to the season. And yeah, they don't end until well after the school year ends, right? Sometimes I think it goes into June, from what I was told. But I mean, that's a truer reflection of a champion. There is, you got a best of 3 series each weekend. You can kind of use your pitching in the championship the way you need to. I don't know if this is the best way to crown a champion when the best pitcher is almost always not starting the championship game.
All right, I got an answer for you. Pecos has Panther guard Jordiah Padilla, lettered as an 8th grader and will be a 3-year starter next season, his senior year. New Mexican Highland star Mario Archuleta was a 5-year starter for the Panthers. And Grady says, a kid in my house lettered in track as an 8th grader. It does happen up here in the village. So you put out
there you go.
You put out the bat signal and you get answers. All right, my friend.
There you go.
Appreciate the flexibility this morning. We'll catch you next. What day is today? Wednesday? Is that when we do these?
Usually.
Yep.
All right. Hit them.
By the way, I do mustard on one side, relish on the other side, right, going up and down, of course. And then I do the topping in the middle, whether that be sweet pickle relish or onions.
So wait. So you do mustard on one side, relish on the other, and then you do double relish down the middle?
No, yeah. I either add some more relish or add the onions to the middle. But yeah, you definitely mustard on one side vertically, relish on the other side, and then if I'm just doing relish, I'll add some more on the top, or usually it's onions across the top on the middle.
God bless you.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Tack on your toupee on Friday extra tight because it's going to be
I'm waiting for that text, Jeff. I'm waiting for that text.
Which one's that?
You said you're going to – I know somebody.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. All right. Be well. Talk to you soon.
Guys. Be good.
Later. Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people, the Grand Poobah ProView Networks. We'll wrap it up with you when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com.
About Miami. No Kyle Lowry dealing with the hamstring injury. Jimmy Butler's got a sore knee. They're like, oh, we're going to sit these guys. We're confident enough. We can close out this series at home. They did that 3-point game. Bit of a reality check for Trae Young, though, in this series. 30 turnovers, 22 made field goals. The best team in the Eastern Conference throughout the regular season was the Miami Heat. Don't forget about the Heat. I get it. The Celtics beating the Nets. Have to talk about that because it was the failure of the Brooklyn Nets. But classic series set up on deck. The Heat versus either the Celtics or the Bucks, who are going to close out the Chicago Bulls
tonight
because the best player in the league, Alex Caruso, is not available.
Best player in the league. You're cute. Adolph, good morning to you. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. You know, I can't believe that I weighed in on the proper spelling and meaning of caramel last week, and now I'm about to weigh in on my hot dog preference. Without further ado, I'm a big fan, being from the Chicagoland area, of course, of the Chicago dog. And here's how that has to be constructed. You might want to write this down, people. First off, you must have a poppy seed bun.
That's right.
Poppy seed bun.
That's right.
Second, you have to have a hot dog, but not just any hot dog. Nathan's will not do.
That's right.
No.
Thick.
Ebro National will not do. It must be Vienna, because Vienna gives you that pop that people from Chicago, that's what we look for. The next ingredient is the yellow mustard. After that is the relish, the neon relish that you cannot get here in Albuquerque. So that, too, is a Vienna product. The next ingredient is, of course, the onions, which have to be diced.
Yep, diced. Yep.
Okay. And then, of course, you have the wedges of tomatoes, preferably Roma tomatoes. And then you have an ingredient that a lot of people here would think that a jalapeno would basically be a good substitute, but it's not. You have to have the sport pepper, which, again, you cannot find here in Albuquerque. And so the sport pepper, once you have those two peppers inserted, now you have the secret ingredient. That is celery salt.
Celery
That's what
salt?
gives the Chicago, yes. That's what gives the Chicago dog
Damn, I'm hungry
that
now.
unique flavor. Celery salt.
See, that sounds gooder than bleep right now. I'm honestly
Okay,
like the
and-
poppy seed bun gives it. That's why that's a meal, dude. And that's also why that ain't 50 cents.
Yeah. And so, and the last thing is, you must have the dill pickle spear that you slide in on the side of the bun.
People don't like
And like you said, Jeff, this is a complete meal.
Yeah.
And in Chicago parlance, historically, we call that construction of the Chicago dog dragging the hot dog through the garden. Literally, that's what they call it, dragging it through the garden. And it became in vogue during the times of the Great Depression. And that's the basic history of the Chicago dog, and that's how it's constructed.
I think that's awesome.
And by the way, the only place that you can get the poppy seed bun here in Albuquerque is Pastion's Bakery. Anyway, thanks for taking my call. I hope I have enlightened the people with regard to the construction of the Chicago dog, dragging it through the garden. I'm out.
Later. See, that's so good. Tell me that didn't sound. I mean, I don't even know if you like. You don't have to like a pickle spear. You could take it out, or. But that so okay.
It would be worth trying.
So
like
you know
just
what?
even.
Everybody's got their style,
Yeah.
right? The Chicago dog, the New York slice, the Chicago style pizza. Like every year, JJ, we sit there. Not every year, but often, and the iSoaps roll out something new. There's a $25 sandwich, pork sandwich, Chihuahua sandwich with a pound of pork and all this stuff out there. What would an Albuquerque style or New Mexico style hot dog be? I mean, obviously it would be a green chili base, but what else? Would it be a mustard green chili relish? Like that there's to the poppy seed bun, to the Vienna dog, to the yellow mustard with the Vienna the what do you call it? The what kind of relish? I wrote it down.
Some
can't even read it.
neon
Neon relish. That's what it
green.
says. Neon relish. Onions, tomatoes, chopped Roma tomatoes. But I don't know, man. I think there's something to have a New York style pizza, the thin pizza, right, where you can fold it over, to the Chicago style pizza, the deep dish pizza, to Cincinnati chili.
Maybe here
to,
we would put the hot dog like in a sopapilla or something weird, like change the bun.
I'm listening.
I don't know.
I'm listening,
Do a
or
good
even in a
thing,
tortilla.
Yeah, right?
Oh, I'm listening.
Huh.
But don't you think they should do just a Borque dog or a New Mexico style?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Grady's got some on the email machine.
What's he
that
got?
You should
I read
I
it?
don't know if you've seen it.
I don't know that
I have not been there, but there's a devoted
I don't
hot
have
dog
it.
place new on Central, and it's called like Hot Dog Clown or something like
Clown
that.
Dog?
Yes, I want to go there.
Went there this weekend.
Ooh, how was it?
I don't know. I didn't eat the hot dogs,
That would be me.
but the
too.
people I were with loved it.
Oh, Grady's went to junk. Okay, so that's a long one. Can I get through all this? All right, condiment kings and queens of the OD and the AM. Regular dogs, mustard, ketchup, and sweet pickle relish if I'm feeling fancy. Specialty dogs, Chicago style, then Coney style, no meat, non-New Mexico chili, onions, and mustard. Now, if you come and have some dogs up here in the village and ask for a chili dog, you'll get New Mexico red chili with meat. You build the rest. That actually sounds good. Don't tell anyone to read this too loudly on the air, but village style is my least favorite. You guys may have already said this. I heard on a national show, and I couldn't agree more. These LeBronless playoffs are awesome. I agree. No shade to King James. It's just he sucks up all the oxygen, talking points and media coverage and the energy when he's in the playoffs. Everything he does, says, etc., is microanalyzed ad nauseum, win or lose, leaving very little time to showcase anyone else. Again, not a knock on LeBron. There are so many new and existing stars getting showcased, and I love it. The reigning MVP still doesn't get his due, but overall, I think these playoffs are refreshing. As much as it kills me, being all things Western honk I am, whoever comes out of the East, Bucks, Boston, or Heat will win the title. I'm hoping Sebastian talks to my guy, New Mexico Schools for the Deaf, Bruce Brewer, playing for Team USA. All right, I want to get into that tomorrow because that's actually a really good topic. So tomorrow we're going to get into that. Thanks to Sebastian Noel. Thanks to Stephanie for stepping in for the vacationing, wedding, marrying, whatever, Amory. Adrian, great work. Jim Rome show's next. Heard with Colin Coward after that. 2 Men On, and then baseball with Josh Susha on Ice Topes and River Cats. Big day for you today?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We shall smell you tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Attention men, are you one of the millions suffering?
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.